just like a group sort of shower, and there's like people all different ages. They're all changing. So I start getting changed, and a little girl's like, like there's a foreigner, and I look at her like,
oh, I haven't seen Catherine that long. She has a boyfriend now. No, why is she hiding all these stories from us?
Alright, speaking of multiple boyfriends and hiding stories, now is the time. Now is the time for
I'm sorry.
dating.
dating.
It does look like a wedding ring.
Yeah,
just
there's
saying.
all the bling and
It's a friendship ring.
Sure it is.
that's what they all say.
We hear that one.
Friendship.
You don't need to lie to us.
It's a secret until it's on YouTube.
Yeah, it's gonna be
Oh gosh.
it's gonna be global knowledge soon. All right, here we are talking about dating, and no, this is the most important one.
Yeah, no.
They all want to know that. They all think that all the boys here look like K-pop stars, and it's gonna be romance into the
Well,
eternity.
maybe not K-pop star, but he definitely had a perm.
They are very pretty
I love the
boys.
All right, so talk about your war stories, your impressions,
I went on one date with
and
him.
advice.
One whole day.
Yeah, he was my hairstylist. Little did I know afterwards that Koreans think hairstylists are all gay, which really isn't different, I guess, from what we think. But,
Yeah.
I went on a date with him. He was nice, and he had like the dyed hair. He had a perm. He was cute in a K-poppy kind of way. So like the date was just like we met up, we ate some dinner, went to a coffee shop, and then we went to go. But then this is when it got kind of just like strange. He's like, oh hey, like do you want to go to DVD Bong? And I was like, no, I don't. And, like DVD bongs they're not places you go to watch movies. They're places you go to
Found chicken wawa.
hang out because you both live with your parents and that's the only place you can meet up. So I was like, no, I don't want to go to a DVD bong. But I want to watch a movie, so let's go to the cinema. So we went to the cinema instead. At the cinema, it was very like, he had like roaming hands a little bit. It got kind of just like strange. So that was my Korean date. It was a little, I don't know, whatever, it was a date. But it's definitely not something I want to do again.
Stories. I have lots of stories, really. Well, there was this guy. I met him at church. I didn't know we were going on a date. I just thought we were hanging out. And when we went to the restaurant, I took out my purse to pay. And he said, no, my treat, so he paid. We went to the movies, he paid. Everything he paid. And then I think it was his go-to move with dates to do this magic trick. Where he makes something he did with a 500 won coin. And then he took my money as well. But anyway, date was over. I wouldn't call it a date, for the lack of a better word. It was over. Then a week later, he said, oh, I had fun, let's do it again when my exams are over. So that went on, and that time I started dating my ex-boyfriend. I didn't know this boy liked me. I just thought we were hanging out as friends. So I started dating my ex-boyfriend. And then stories surfaced that this guy liked me, but he hadn't told me. He wanted me to just guess, I guess. Just, magically, I'm paying for your dinner, I'm paying for your movie ticket, I like you. I didn't know. Then I dated my ex-boyfriend for a year, and when we broke up, then I heard this boy liked me. So when he heard we had broken up, I was like, this is my chance. I'm gonna try my luck again. So we go out, and he says, again, let's go to a DVD room. And like Jade, I know what the DVD room represents. So like, no, if we're watching a movie, how are we gonna talk? And it's like, no, you can talk and watch the movie. I said, no, if there's subtitles, I can't talk. I need to read the subtitles or know what's going on. I was like, okay, let's go to a coffee shop. And then he was like, at the coffee shop he said, oh, and I thought we met today. I thought that God will tell you something about us. So something like what? He said, no, I just thought God will speak to us. And then I realized now what this boy was getting at. He's like, oh, okay, yeah, I need to go now. So never heard from him again. But then I'd asked my friend, same moves, same stories, same magic trick, everything. Yeah, but I haven't seen or heard from him since then. It's like 2 years ago. That was my first experience with the Korean boy. But since then, I've realized that most Korean boys are intimidated to talk to foreign girls. They don't want to speak in English. They would rather keep it in the friend zone. And that's why it's hard to read if they like you or they're flirting, because you don't know if they want to practice English with you or they just genuinely like you. But
I will say that is hard. You never know if they're actually looking for a girlfriend or if they're just looking for a free practice partner. A lot of them are just like, oh, I'm studying English. Can I have your phone number? Let's be friends.
and they do all the things that you would normally have done via boyfriend, pay for your dinner and stuff like that. And then he'll offer to hold your handbag.
Do you think the English barrier is the biggest thing that prohibits, keeps them from wanting to engage more, or is it preference?
And also family.
I think it's a cultural barrier more so than the language.
It's the family thing as well, because my family doesn't want me to resolve and because the wife of the son, like if he's the eldest son, she plays a big role in the family with holidays and stuff like that, so she helps with it. And they feel like foreign girls can't do that. They feel like, we are weak, we are westernized, so we don't know how to cook and clean. We just go shopping and do our hair, nails.
I think it's that we don't. Yeah, I don't think it's so much we don't know how, but that we won't do it up to the Korean standard. Like, we're not Korean, so it's still different. So, and I definitely wouldn't want to be a Korean woman though, in that like just like stuck cleaning.
Yeah, because I've noticed that you don't just marry the guy, you are marrying his entire family. And from stories I've heard from my Korean friend, they say that it becomes like a business transaction between families, because you'll find like the two rich families form an alliance. And I found it in the Indian culture as well, you're not just marrying the boy, you're marrying his family. They have a big say. So Indian culture and Korean culture is very similar. And I think because I've moved away from that kind of mentality, I don't want to be stuck in it where, oh, you are the wife, you stay home, you don't work, you don't have your independence. Your place is in the kitchen and have babies and take care of them. Like one of my former co-workers, when she had a baby, she had to wait for her mother-in-law to go to a fortune teller and give the baby's date of birth, and the fortune teller gave her a list of names, then only could they name the child. It's like it doesn't become the responsibility of the parents, the grandparents. And when they get married, where they get married,
Fortune tellers.
Some people are like really
I had one of the teachers at my school, she's dating this guy, and they went to a fortune teller. They're like, if you get married this year, it'll be very bad luck for you. You have to wait. She's like, I don't want to get married now.
Casually, what Tom said about like the English barrier, I have found that to be a big deal, especially like on first dates, because first dates are awkward to begin with, but then on top of that, then you don't speak the same language, and So like he's speaking in a different language, and like it takes a lot longer for him to respond, and he's like nervous, and he probably hasn't like spoken English that often, and it's just like it's not comfortable. So it's just doubly awkward. And I even had a guy who like we went on our first date, and then he said, "Oh, I'm normally like a jokester and a prankster." But like in the day, he was like so shy, really shy. He was like really like tense. So I couldn't tell if he was like telling the truth or yeah. But I think like once you get past the English barrier, then like the comfortableness and all of that, it's okay. But it's just like getting past it is difficult.
And I think they'll prefer like casual dating with a foreign girl. There's very few of them will actually consider settling down with a foreign girl. And with dating a foreigner, I've noticed that most of the foreign boys that are in Korea would prefer to date a Korean girl.
Yeah.
So
They're like here for that reason.
yeah, have the full Korean experience. Yeah. So the Korean boys want the Korean girls, foreign boys want the Korean girls, and then there's us that's just stuck here. No home, no home.
Like, what was the biggest shift when you finally got here? That you thought dating was going to be a certain way. You thought Korean guys were going to be a certain way, and now you're like, no.
Well, in our first, well, my first year was like very, I don't know, obsessed with just that whole Korean thing. Listening to Korean, listening to Korean music, looking at, oh, he's so handsome, and then after a year you see like all the negativity is surfacing. Korean boys tend to wear more makeup than their handbags are more fancier than mine. Because they carry bags, man purse, but it looks like a handbag. And then they have skinny jeans, and they just spend more time on their appearance. And then you like, I think as years progress, that fascination phase, or that obsession phase. But in your first year, you're going to be very excited. All the cute boys, the pretty boys. But then when you notice that they can't speak to you in your language, then it's basically not going to go anywhere unless you are dedicated to learning Korean. Like my friend, she really wanted a Korean boyfriend, so she studied Korean really, really hard. And she took college classes, Korean college classes. So now she's fluent in Korean, and she's engaged to a Korean guy. That's dedication. Like she knew exactly what she wanted. But for me, it's like, oh, if I date a Korean, that's okay. But it wasn't like, I must date a Korean. My life revolves around dating a Korean boy.
I came here wanting a Korean boyfriend, and I took a class in college, but I wasn't looking to like date a Korean and speak Korean. I was still hoping like someone who spoke English, and so at my gym,
The easier, right?
yeah. Well, at my gym, people are like, "Are you single?" I'm like, "Yes, I am." Like, "Why don't you have a boyfriend?" And I'm like it's harder than just picking a guy. Like, there's so many guys here. Like your choice. And it's not. We kind of need to have like some common ground. We just can't like get sweaty together and call it good. That sounds wrong. Training jujitsu, fighting.
Yeah,
We're not getting sweaty doing it.
we don't have to be talking all the time.
자유 영어 뭐지?
You have to put parental guidance on this video.
We digress.
This is going to be like 5 minutes of us laughing. I haven't read a report.
This is why I need to think before I speak.
Are you okay?
Come on, Catherine, bail us out here.
You get to follow that.
What advice would you give?
Advice. I think my advice is just to like be yourself, and I mean always in any dating situation. It's the same in any country, like your home country and a foreign country. Just be yourself and don't try to
If it happens, it happens. You can't like search for it, with the exception of your friend. You can't go searching for it and expect to find it. It's just something that happens.
Yeah, there are very few Korean boys in that come to mind that genuinely want to study English, and some of them date foreign girls just to practice their English. And I had a Korean person tell me, if you want to practice your Korean, get a Korean boyfriend. But that's like, you know, you dating for the wrong reason.
That's not what dating is. It's not what
And you don't want to just think yourself, okay, I'm gonna have so many Korean boys for beginner, intermediate, advanced, and then okay, I'm fluent in Korean. Now let me find the one, you know. So it's difficult. I mean, if you go to clubs and bars, you're definitely gonna meet someone. But if you're not going to those places, it's very difficult.
So I've actually like met a lot of Korean guys like through my gym, but it comes back to like the language barrier. I mean, there are guys that speak English, but in Korea you can't just find a guy that speaks English and oh, this has to work. You still gotta, you still need all those other things to sort of come together on top of them speaking English. It's a lot more difficult.
It's not like your options are a lot more.
It doesn't matter how many guys like manage to meet through whatever you do. That being said, like if you do want to meet people, if you're doing Korean things, then you have like a much better chance.
What's your dating
Last words?
experience, Tom?
My dating experience? This is not my interview. Your interview.
You can't tell me.
You'll have to do an interview with me.
Very good. Anything else? May I have? What can you drink at McDonald's for? Cola. Very good. And then the waiter repeats the order. Repeat means says again. Okay, so one hamburger and a cola. That will be, and then the price of the hamburger and the cola. Do you understand? Yes. Okay, so I will give you 5 minutes to fill in the information. Then we're going to do a role play. So everybody, if you need help, raise your hand and I'll come to you. Okay? Let's start. Are you okay?